Welcome back. Now, my next guest is best known for his amazing ability to impersonate virtually anyone, including me, very badly. But last year, he hit our screens in a much more serious role. He liked the serious side so much that he's set to take it even further. But what's the connection with this? To explain all, please welcome Alistair McGowan. That well-known little maid, Alistair McGowan. Yes. But you're going, as they used to say, you're going legit.
Yeah, well, I suppose so. I've done a bit of legit already, so this is sort of like the fourth or fifth
Bleak
thing
House
now,
is
so.
very legit, but this is now Carl Rosa Opera Company.
Yeah.
Playing the title role in the Mikado.
Yes, quite, playing the Mikado. And Carl Rosa are Britain's oldest opera company. They've been going for something like 150 years or something, so it's a real change, this, for me, a real change.
They're also very accomplished. I've seen their work, and they're really good. They do a very tight, zappy Gilbert and Sullivan.
Yeah, well, their ethos really is to do it in the way that it was originally intended to be done. So they've got even original sets, not the actual sets, but, you know, the copies of the original set drawings. And
a stunning costume for you there, Alistair. You brought
costume.
it with you, your cosy.
Yes, and the black and gold is traditional, apparently. That is the colours of the Emperor. Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful. But you say, you know, you're playing the role of the Mikado. There are two songs in the Mikado, Coco, the Lord High Executioner's Little List, and the Mikado song that are frequently updated.
Yes. Well, I mean, they were very topical at the time, and this is something that, again, the company want to continue, is this idea that, you know, if they were relevant for the 19th century, these lyrics should now be relevant for the 21st century. So I've updated a little bit of the song that I have to sing about what punishments fit what crimes, who should be... I mean, John Gaunt would be great at writing that, I tell you. String them all up.
But you've got lots of... So, yeah, hang 'em and flog 'em Gaunt, he's
cyclists,
called.
get rid of them, you know. Well, I love cyclists. I'm like you. I'm a cyclist, so I'd be kind to cyclists. But the Mikado, it's interesting. The character is described. Well, in his own words, he describes himself as humane, and he describes himself as being fatherly, and yet he's the emperor. So we haven't started rehearsing yet. I've got 6 days rehearsals next week, and then we're into
6 days and you're on.
But I want him to be quite a placid sort of like our own royal family. You know, again, Charles and Philip, you know, very gentle, but they have this huge power.
But he does talk about boiling oil.
He does talk about boiling oil, yeah, but again, you see, there's the parallel with those two in that they both go off, you know, hunting animals and think that that's perfectly all right, whereas most of us would go, how can you hunt animals? And you're a very humane, you know, member of the royal family, but they still do that. So somebody with a Mikado, I want him to be very humane, but at the same time, he does like beheading people.
But there is...
There the comparisons end with Prince Charles and Prince Philip, let me just point out.
I'm glad you said that. There is, though, the additional thing that you are standing up, holding your own with an orchestra, singing well-written operetta numbers. That's a bit scary. Have you done that before?
Well, almost. In The Merry Wives, the musical, which we did at the RSC last year with Simon Callow, you've got on tomorrow, we did some numbers in that which are pretty operatic. They swung from hoedowns to light opera. So one of the numbers I had in that was pretty operatic. So I'm nervous, but slightly, you know, there's enough confidence there to get it over, I hope. But this is without a microphone, with an orchestra and the huge company around me.
You're on your own now.
Yeah, OK, I'm really nervous.
Oh, no, it's exciting. No, it's interesting what Carl Rosa have done, though. They've popped you and Nicola McAuliffe playing Katisha in the Mikado. You've got Joe Brand as the Sergeant of Police in the Pirates of Penzance.
Absolutely, which should be worth seeing, I think. I'll go along and see that myself once they're finished. Once I've put up the costume, I'll go and see Joe.
Is there a temptation for you in the Mikado to go into voices? Will you...
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure there will be. I'll find out next week when we start rehearsing. But already I'm thinking of him a little bit like Tim Nice but dim, so there's a little bit of that sort of thing going on. And also, obviously, as he mentions, there's the sort of Prince Charles aspect, so there will be that temptation. There'll probably be somebody else. The other person I always get told that I'm like on stage is Leonard Rossiter, because I'm a huge Leonard Rossiter fan. I loved his style of acting, and especially his Rigsby, so I'm sure there'll be a little bit of a hint of Rigsby. There always seems to be whether I want to or no, it seems to be. I can't help it.
I can't see... Nicola McAuliffe as Katisha turning into Miss Jones, though, can you? I think I'd have a job doing that with her.
You never
So
know.
this clearly is an avenue down which you're going now is more towards the serious acting. I mean, do you feel, apart from very kindly doing bits for me, that you're leaving impressions behind and you're much more dramatic?
Yeah, in terms of the impression show, and I just don't watch so much television now, and I think, you know, being an impressionist comes from being completely absorbed in television and sport, which I was for a long time. I used to watch endless hours of sport as a teenager and as a young man, and now I
just to get the commentators' voices? Or?
Well, no, because I used to enjoy it, you know, but now I'm just not as inspired by sport, really. I'm not watching as much, and I'm not watching as much television, so I haven't got as much armoury, and there's not so many things I want to comment on, which is what we did on our show, really. It was, people said it was satire sometimes in the papers, and it used to annoy me because it wasn't really political satire, but it was satirical about television and what television is doing to people and what gets on television. But as I say, I'm just not watching it now. Once you start into the theatre, you know, you have these wonderful old works to get your teeth into.
But theatre is notoriously resistant from letting people like just plain old impressionists get in. You've gone into extremely respectable production. I mean, Bleak House was heralded quite rightly as a step forward in television drama. It was stupendous, and to be a part of that must have given you a great thrill.
Oh, completely, yeah. I mean, I've been very lucky. I did the Bleak House production and then working at the RSC, and Chichester's a massively successful regional theatre, and then, you know, recently I've done my first film last summer, which is going to be out next summer with Richard Dreyfuss, and you know, so I've done some pretty nice big things. It's been a great.
You've done some amazing
break.
work. You're an incredibly accomplished actor. You're still rotten at impersonating me.
Oh,
doesn't sound
how
like
can
me.
you say that?
You see, rubbish. Doesn't sound like me at all. Great to have you on. Good luck with it. I shall definitely come and see.
Come and see.
Carl
So you
Rose
can go the
Company,
reader in lyrics as well.
The Mikado at the Gielgud Theatre.
At the Gielgud Theatre, yes. And it's only for 10 days, so get your skates on. And the whole thing is 3 operas, the 3 Gilbert and Sullivans in 4 weeks. So it's a very short season, but it should be quite a special experience, I think, for us and for the audiences alike.
Good luck to you. Enjoy it. Thank you much. Ladies and gentlemen, Alistair McGowan.